The top 7 digital marketing trends that business owners should follow.
G'day, this is Rob Lawson. I shared an infographic created by social media a few weeks ago and got lots of feedback, most wanting a little bit more information about what all this data means. So I'm going to break it down into each of the 7 elements, and I've created this little video, so hopefully clears things up for a lot of questions that you might have. Okay, the first one, just on the right, there's 80% of people that search on Google ignore the ads. You can see that little 80% on the right there. So it is important to work on SEO, but the other side of things is that 20% that does appear at the top, those ads, sometimes at the bottom on a desktop, generally on the phone in the top 4 results that are shown, they do work. Google makes billions of dollars a year, and most of it comes from AdWords, or Google Ads as they're now called. So even though SEO is the place where you'll get the most return, in the short term you can do AdWords and you can do a mix of them. 94% of all search is done by Google. There's a little bit from Bing, which is Microsoft's search engine. Amazon's starting to enter the market, but really Google's the main game. The majority of people don't go past the first page, and it's actually 75%. For B2B, SEO, or search engine optimization, getting yourself to rank on the first page of Google does provide the best ROI. Organic search, which is, again, it's what SEO is. We'll just go down to this thing with this part of the graphic with the green background. I find it interesting how we've, over time, evolved to type in quite long search terms. So rather than just the root term of bike, we might, want a hybrid graphite, whatever frame, what you want with certain handlebars, and you'll type all of that into the search rather than just the root term bicycle. So 50% of searchers use more than 4 words in their search term. If you were a mortgage broker, you would struggle to rank for the term home loan, or you might be able to rank for low doc home loans for tradies. So important to do lots of keyword research and understand what keywords you can rank for and then focus on those. So look at some of these other data points here. The top 5 search terms get 70% of the clicks. So that's a significant amount if you can manage to get to the first 5. And it can take you quite a while to get there. I find this quite interesting, that 1,890 words is the average amount of content on first page results. So that means to me that people are consuming blog posts, white papers, more detailed content, and that's what Google's presenting higher up the page, which goes against the trend from a lot of people that approach me and say, people haven't got time, they don't want to read stuff. Look, if you're really interested in something, if you really are after some information before you make a purchase, you are going to go into the detail. And it's only when you're not that you're going to skim. So it's important to have lots of good detail about your products and services. This is a really interesting number, 300% more traffic to sites from Google than from organic search, than any other. And 21% of searchers click more than one result. And we do. We might pick one big supplier or vendor, one mid-range and one smaller, and talk to each of them to see if there's any price disparity, if there's any, sometimes the smaller guys look after you a bit better, or whatever it might be. We do tend to look at more than one result. Local SEO. If you've got a physical business, a shop, where someone can come to you to buy your goods or your service, you need to sort out your local SEO, or Google My Business, as it's called. And the data's there that, we search for something and we go and act on it. So I just did it before at lunchtime, dry cleaning near me, and then found the closest one and off I went. Didn't even look at price. And mobile search. In the States last year, mobile searches outstripped desktops, and I'm sure the data is very similar here in Australia. So, and mobile advertising revenue is going through the roof. I think there's some interesting information around ad blocking that is going to affect advertising results over time as we get a little bit more picky about what we want to see. But mobile search is certainly on the up and up. The other thing I wanted touch on before I leave SEO is how much it will cost and whether you should engage an external firm. I have seen so many people underwhelmed by snake oil salespeople from SEO because no one really understands SEO. So they pull the wool over your eyes, charge you $1,000, $1,500 a month for a year, and you get nothing. I'd rather see you put that money into creating your own good original content, whether you outsource that, whether you can have someone internally write some stuff, or whether you have a combination of the two, and then get someone who knows what they're doing to show you how to structure your site properly for search and then to outreach with that content. And you'll get within 6, 12, 18 months, depending on how hard the keyword is, you'll get traction and you'll really, really get some good results. So I will go over all 7 trends, and there is a little bit of a crossover amongst them. So hopefully you find it all useful. If you've got any questions, look for my socials at the end of this video, and please reach out and I'll come back to you.